Are we on 10 now?
Yes, sir. We are on 10.
I would like to, and I'm sorry I was late coming into the room, so
not a problem at
all. 10. Okay, 10 has the same problems we've seen in a bunch of other plans, that it continues to extend District 5 far to the east and continues to carve the central part of Orange County, the area between 436 and I-4, into 3 separate districts. Historically, I can just tell you that those 3 separate districts have always had a commissioner, each of them, one for Winter Park, one for Central Orlando, and one for the Conway area. And those 3 separate districts have always been able to elect the commissioner of the choice of those inner neighborhoods because they are well connected and connected to the influence peddlers, if you will, in the community. They have access to lobbyists and to money for campaigns. It is time that we began to recognize that that's an inequity in our system. The northern part of the district and the southern part of the district have a great deal in common. At the Conway Community Council hearing, there were a multitude of speakers who said that they liked the idea of combining all of those so-called big tree districts into one district, and I think that is the obligation of this committee. My problem with District 5 is that it is extraordinarily distorted. There is nothing in common at the Country Club of Orlando, where Ms. Cabrera-Morris lives, and Christmas or Bithlo on the far east end of that county. The commonalities of interest aren't there, and this is just, in my view, a proposal that is designed to protect the interests on the east side of the incumbent commissioners. With regard to the west side, it's not terrible, and I think it shows some good thinking.
Thank you, Mr. Head. Any questions or comments from the committee for Mr. Head? Yes.
I just have one, and it's more an observation. What we heard, and I've certainly heard and given due consideration to Mr. Head's comments and his thoughts around what happens in downtown and East Orange County. But what I'm kind of going on is the input we've heard from the residents of Christmas and the areas of East Orange, where they have, I believe, unanimously said that they prefer a configuration where they're connected to their current commission district, and so that was the thought process in keeping that district together. So.
Thank you, Chairman Bruce. Anyone else that would like to address the comments from Mr. Head on this proposal? Ms. Antoni, yes.
I have a comment.
1 second, Ms. Cabrera-Morris, right here. Ms. Antoni.
Well, I think the agricultural representatives that we've heard have said that they like to be in 4 separate districts because they have they have 4 commissioners representing agricultural instead of 1 or 2. So I agree with the chair. That's what we have heard from public comments.
Very good. Ms. Cabrera-Morris?
Mr. Chair, I don't know are we going to answer when I know that Mr. Head before did not like that I answer a question that he had. So I don't know if I should or not. Or I could do it after the meeting.
You're welcome to state a comment now. It's up to you, or you could wait and address it with him directly after the meeting if you'd like.
I just think that we have had for many moons a lot of people here speaking in behalf of the Hispanic community, and I think that that's a really cold thing to say, that I'm speaking in behalf of the Hispanic community. I haven't seen a lot of that in my community. I have never felt that I have to be in one district to be represented. I work hard and I don't come here often. I don't feel that for the Hispanic community to be part of this community, they need to be all in one district. I think that we need to have, I'm sorry, Doug. I think that I don't know how we could hurt the Hispanic community or how could it benefit the Hispanic community if we were all in one district. If we had a commissioner, in the center of town, we had a district that was highly Hispanic, and we did not elect a Hispanic to that district with Mary Johnson, after Mary Johnson left. So I think that I hear a lot of people, and I'm going to, I want to make that point, that I just don't think that that is a need. We have the Hispanic community as icing in the cake of this community, being part and serving on boards and doing all the wonderful things that we should be doing, because this is a place we chose to live, and we appreciate it being here, and we appreciate being welcomed, and we thank you. That's it.
I do not have any other speaker cards as it relates to this specific proposal. I didn't see any come in, so we'll go ahead and close the public input portion of Committee Proposal 10. And if I recall correctly, the discussion and vote at our meeting last week in Winter Garden, I believe that we are procedurally approving all committee proposals that contain 6 districts as they are presented by the committee members. And of course, this Committee Proposal 10 meets those requirements, so I don't believe there is a call for a vote. So at this point in time, unless there's some other suggestion from our council, I'll turn the gavel back over to our chairs. We'll move down the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairman Searle. And having concluded our consideration of Committee Proposal 10, I'll move on to item B, which is the introduction and review of Committee Proposal 6D by Mr. Martin. And I understand we're all in for a good show tonight because the PowerPoint is back.
Everybody cozy up around your monitor there while he loads that up. One thing I have to say is this has been a great appreciation for the public hearing process that we went through during the past 7 weeks, starting 7 weeks ago. And the input that we received as a committee from the community was very valuable. As every one of the committee members know, it is, as far as I'm concerned, impossible to make everybody in this community happy that has spoken before this committee. And in that regard, at least I want to make sure that people have the understanding or appreciation that we have heard them. And as I go forward with this, I want to make sure that everybody understands where I'm coming from. These are, again, proposed maps. It's the actual county commission who's going to adopt the final one. And I hope that if in fact none of my maps get voted in or approved or move forward, that you will actually see some characteristics that you can pull into some of your maps. And I hope at least in that regard, it's a good process. In front of you, starting off, is with the existing districts. It gets quite confusing sometimes with so many lines on some of these maps. I thought it would be easier, rather than to overlay one map on top of another map that's already been overlaid with another map, it'd be easier just to start with the scratch map of the existing districts as they are today. Starting off with District 1, we're all aware that along the boundaries there we have the county lines for Osceola and Lake County, and that's how it looks today. It's rather large, includes Walt Disney World and 429, with a lot of growth potential with the Metro West area and with the Horizons West area. Along part of it is the I-4 corridor that splits up along International Drive. Kirkman Road also plays a big role of that. Orla Vista and Old Winter Garden Road, zigzagging up what used to be the community of Claricona, or it still is. As you see in this map, Orla Vista is included in this proposal, and I'll go into that in just a moment. What I did pull out was a result of the fact that there is a very high population as to what needs to be there, 27.07% high. So we needed to bring some of that community out of District 1 and put it somewhere else. And I started that by using